Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to go through how to build some Lego characters that can be used with the Lego Mario figure and are similar style as the official characters in the theme. And these are some snow and ice characters. We have some penguins, Snow Pokey, and a little bird. So first I'll show what the sticker sheet looks like that you would need to do the faces on these characters. There'll be a link in the description that you can go to download a PNG of this. First thing is that when you print it out, you want to make sure that the scale matches here. So I have the size of the overall box as well as these 1-inch lines here. So I usually print on normal paper, check the scale, adjust if you need to, and then print on your sticker sheet. What you want to do is for the little burr eyes, you're going to want to cut out each individual eye. And then for Snow Pokey, you want to cut out the square of the face, which would be the size of a 2x2 tile. And then you need to cut out this light gray circle, which is the hole for the stud in the jumper tile for the nose. So you can see in the previous image kind of how that worked on the sticker, right? I could have made this maybe sticker a little bit wider to fit more perfectly on the tile, but then anyway, once you have to cut in through here and cut out the nose, or you could certainly use like a Cricut or similar to do a little cleaner job. And then last one is the eyes for the penguin, which again you're going to cut out each individual eye. Put decent number on the sheet here, just because it's always better to print out extras in case you have some cutting or whatever issues as you're making them. Alright, so how do you build it? Here's the parts list for the little burr. Pretty small character, not too many parts. You could use dark gray, or you could use black for this 2x2 brick with studs on, or sorry, not 2x2, 1x2 by 2 2/3 brick, which has studs on 3 sides. The brick that was introduced for the Mario theme and is quite common. And these light blue parts are the medium azure, the lighter of the two azure colors. And then for Snow Pokey, you need a bunch of white parts, and then the bucket, the arm, nose. Again, you need that brick with studs on 3 sides. Now, the white version of that is not too common yet, but I mean, although white's ideal, you could certainly use gray or black, and it wouldn't be that noticeable. You can just barely see this brick along the edges of the tile, so darker colors would be okay too. And here's the penguin parts list. These are just pretty common parts. I include one of these 1x1 tiles with rod to help him stand. Alright, so once you gathered all your parts, then let's see how to build it. So here's the little burr. You'll start out with a round 2x2 plate. Okay, you put your bricks with studs on 3 sides. Very similar to a lot of other of the small Mario characters, like Lava Bubble in particular. This is basically an ice version of the Lava Bubble. You get your just smooth tiles on 2 sides, then your jumper tiles, or tile with 1 stud in the center. On the other 2 sides, just a normal plate on top, and then these pyramid pieces look cool, but you could just use a cheese slope as well, and it would Be a pretty similar effect for the two sides. If you don't have this trans light blue pyramid piece. Alright, and then a bunch of G-slopes on the top, which I think looks interesting. Of course, you could also do a similar thing of putting the pyramids up here instead of the G-slopes, but I didn't have enough of them, and I think it gives a little variety to have the two different shapes. And that's it. It's a very simple guy, and I had him in the mock, I had him standing on some 1x1 round plates that were clear, so that made him look like he's popping out of the water or the ice there. But yeah, that's all it is for the little burr. Let's take a look at the snow pokey. Kind of combined snow pokey with Mr. Blizzard here, because snow pokey doesn't necessarily have an arm throwing snowballs. That's something Mr. Blizzard does, but I don't know, I kind of merged the two characters a bit. So here's what it's going to look like. Now, I made a submodel, which is the kind of common parts of the body, so that's what's called here body base subassembly. So it's simple, it's just a 2x2 plate, then these vertical studs on three sides, just like the little burr, and they all have one of these tiles with stud in the center on the front. So that's a common subassembly that's used throughout. So we start with one at the base. We put our, zoom in a little bit. So we put our another tile with stud in the center and a smooth tile on top. Again, also all sides will have this 2x2 jumper tile for the G-slopes to go on there. So then these two steps are just putting G-slopes on all the sides to give them spikes. Again, you could substitute the pyramid pieces for spikes. I think they would look pretty good. I did not have enough of those in white, but that's another option. Alright, and then going up to the next level, it's going to be pretty similar. Alright, so you're going to have your jumper tiles on all sides, but the difference will be that you're going to have on one side, sorry, over here, you're going to put the arm, which is just a brown 3-long rod, put this clip on there, and your ball piece there to make your snowball, like he's going to throw a snowball. Alright, so we go to the head. Now the head is a little bit different. Head doesn't have spikes, so just smooth tiles around the back and sides. And then on top you got just a 1x2 tile and a 1x2 jumper plate, and this is for the bucket on his head. And then nice orange claw or spike piece makes a good looking carrot nose. The actual carrot piece would be, I think, a little bit too big and not easy to attach, so but this piece works pretty well. Alright, and then we put the bucket on his head just like the character in the games. Now the bucket is not really attached, it's just sitting on top of this jumper, which, is actually, I think, good for if you're going to knock him over. Let's get to see the bucket go flying, that's kind of funny, but I didn't think there was a real great way to firmly attach it, so that's kind of just what I ended up doing. Maybe there is some clever way, but yeah, works to just let it sit on top there. So there is a snow pokey. Also pretty simple, and of course these sections are not attached to each other, right? So you can separate them using a similar mechanism to the Pokey, the released set with the Pokey, or however you want to knock them over. Of course, you could put You could rigidly attach them if you want them to just be a static figure with just using normal plates instead of tiles, or you could even use this jumper plates to give a kind of semi-attached, fairly loose attachment. But those are all different options. Alright, let's go to the last one, penguin. Here's a completed penguin. So we start out with a couple headlight bricks. These are not actually attached to each other, but for the first two steps you just kind of assume they're next to each other. Right? You put these one by ones with stud on one side. Okay, now it's actually attached to each other with this 1x2 with studs on one side. The studs go on the back. Just a plate on top, and then a jumper plate. So that's kind of the core of its body. Then for the belly of the penguin, this would probably really be a sub-assembly in a real model, but it's simple enough in just showing, okay, you're going to put one of these 1x4 bows on just a normal 2x2 plate, and then it's going to attach to the headlight bricks, right? And ultimately you have two bows there to give a nice round white belly. Then for the back of the penguin, there's a 2x4 bow piece, and that's going to need these just 1x2 black plates underneath it to fill it out. So yeah, you'd want to attach those beforehand, but just to simplify the cat of it, I didn't make it a whole sub-assembly. So put those plates in there, then attach it to the back via this brick here. Okay, then the next step is put 1x1 brick with stud facing forward, followed by a headlight brick, just a 1x1 plate on top of the headlight brick, and then we get this 1x2 bow in there that completes the head, gives a nice curve to it. Put another orange kind of spike piece there, and makes a good bill for a penguin as well as a nose for a snowman. I think once you put the sticker eyes on here, it really gives them some more personality too. So, alright, then next thing is the arms, which are just these 1x3 bows with a 1x1 plate to fill in the gap there, and it's via that plate that they attach here. Okay, last we have the feet, which are just orange flippers, like minifigure flippers. And then this piece is just so you can make him actually, attach to something so he stands up. You could use two, but if you want to have him on an angle, one is plenty secure enough to keep him on there. So I just put one in. Of course, you could just skip that and have him just resting on something with gravity, but I had him on a hill, and yeah, definitely needed to actually attach them. So there you go. There's a penguin. So, those are the three characters. You can see again how they look in real life in the mock. If you haven't seen the video that featured these characters, make sure to check that out. I'll have it linked at the end. And thanks for watching my tutorial.